Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the round review. This time I'm going to be reviewing round 20, which was a very exciting round, which has helped form the top 8 and gives us a little bit of an indication of who truly is going to be a finals team, who might be slipping out of the race. We have some big changes to the top 4 and the top 8, so it's going to be an interesting round recap. Starting off with an upset at the MCG, 14-point victors they were. The Carlton Football Club got the job done against... No, they didn't. They didn't get the job done against the Port Adelaide Football Club. 65-79, the scoreline ended up. 9 goals, 11 to Carlton. Port Adelaide, they were the better team for me when it mattered. I thought first half, easily Carlton the best team, and I thought Carlton would be winning this pretty easily. And then in that third quarter, Port Adelaide said, suck my ass, and that last quarter they played better as well. I mean, that second half was abysmal by Carlton. They would be ashamed with that performance, given that they had top 2 on lock, and now they are in 4th place on 48 points, equal with Port Adelaide in 7th place with 48 points. So there are 4 teams on 48 points. Percentage is the only thing that splits them. So Carlton are back in the pack. In fact, they're only 1 loss and a percentage away from 9th place Hawthorn. So for me, this was a win I expected, and they let us down, unfortunately. Even though the likes of Kerno was good, I thought Walsh had a decent game. That's probably it. Ollie Wines, for me, was the standout performer, an unsung hero, and Willem Drew was also pretty fucking impressive. But look, at the end of the day, Port Adelaide, they deserved the win. They were much better in that second half, and they are in the top 8. Will they make finals? I still don't know. They're still a touch-and-go team. But we're moving on to North Melbourne, who took on Geelong. I actually went to this game in Hobart, and North Melbourne was so shite. They were just abysmal. Alistair Clarkson's lost it. He had no plan for Tom Stewart, who was dominant throughout the entire game. Watching Tristan Xerri, Big X, has given me a greater appreciation for his ability. Alongside Harry Shees, I thought he was really impressive. A player who really impressed me is George Wardlaw. I thought he had a lot of presence and he played well. But look, at the end of the day, they just let it go, North Melbourne. That last quarter, they were shit. They had chances, but I'm just questioning Clarkson at this point because where's the plan? Where is it? You know Tom Stewart's going to be dominant. Where's the plan? I'm not so sure there's one. We had a derby on next. Gold Coast who took on Brisbane. Gold Coast have finally lost their first game at home this season, and it came against rivals, the Brisbane Lions, who won convincingly. A great first half, and then the second half, slowly Brisbane pulled away, and you would say they looked the better team, they were the better team. I thought Dane Zorko, who's having an All-Australian season, was phenomenal. He has been outstanding. I believe in the reverse fixture earlier this year against Gold Coast, he got 40-odd touches as well. He's been outstanding, 32 touches, 12 marks, nearly 600 metres gained. He's just built different. He's a phenomenal player. And Brisbane have got someone who's aging super well, like fine wine. Lachie Neale, after a quiet week last week, has bounced back with 35 touches and a goal and 10 clearances. Outstanding contribution from him. And it was the other midfielders, the Dunkleys, it was the Berries, the McCluggages, the Rainers who rolled through. And Gold Coast had the answers. Sam Flanders was their only sort of decent player for me, and I thought Matt Rowell had an okay game, but it's just not good enough from the Gold Coast Football Club, who find themselves slipping 1 loss and St Kilda 1 win to go down to 14th. St Kilda are now 1 win and literally 0.6% away from them, so they've slipped well out the top 8 pack. They're not going to get it given their percentage. I knew they weren't going to make the 8. I thought they would finish around 14th. And a lot of people didn't, and I've been proven right. That's called ball knowledge. And as for Brisbane, outstanding fucking form they're in. They're in 2nd place. They're looking comfy. St Kilda beat the Essendon Football Club. They dominated the Essendon Football Club, in fact, winning by 53 points. It was a good first half, I thought, and I honestly thought they could be winning this, the Essendon Football Club. But it was the accuracy of St Kilda, who kicked 17 goals 6, who got the job done. In that third quarter, they blitzed Essendon. And look, Essendon, they're an embarrassment at this point. every season seems the same. They've not got the players to do it. When the big players needed to stand up, I thought they didn't. And to be completely honest with you, it's another wasted season. It's another season of nothingness. I was super disappointed. You know who I was disappointed in? Jade Gresham, who performed poorly against your old side. To have a game that was so poor, barely scraped 10 possessions. Not good enough. Essendon are just an embarrassment. And I feel sad for their fans. Even though my club is horrible right now, being an Essendon fan must be traumatic because all season long they've looked like it. Media pundits, ex-AFL players saying they're a lock for top 4, let alone top 8. And now they have slipped all the way down into 10th place with a percentage that is the 4th worst in the competition. Only West Coast, North and Richmond have a lower percentage. They have a shocking percentage. And to be completely honest, they can still make finals. But the problem with them is their form, their game style. It's all gone. They can't attack. They can't even defend. It's not good. St Kilda, great performance. They're finding good form. And maybe Ross Lyon can get them towards the 12th, 13th place by the end of the season. Melbourne got a much needed loss. Sake, you did not win. Unfortunately, Melbourne lost, although they did get close, kicking like the last, 4 goals. Unfortunately, was not enough to beat the GWS Giants, who ended up winning by 2 points, 83 to 85. And they were just the better team throughout, I thought. Even though that last quarter looked a little bit dodgy at times, I thought statistically, the Giants were much better. They had more contributors. Whitfield 35, Callahan 36, Tom Green 33, Toby Green 3 goals. Clearances 9 to Tom Green, 8 to James Peasley, who also had 28 touches. Melbourne, the highest possession getter was Clayton Oliver 26. And I think, even though that's not an indication of what a team does, you can just see all the midfielders of the Giants dominated the midfield of the Melbourne Football Club, who, even though they did have Max Gawn back, you can tell Max Gawn is still a bit slow, a bit injured, because Kieran Briggs, I thought, was much better on the day. Look, there's not much to analyse about this apart from the fact that Melbourne's season is probably done, given their also poor percentage, and the Giants fighting back into equal 4th in 5th place. I thought for a while they wouldn't make the 8, but they have. My prediction is right, which was they were like 4th or 5th. And we're going to move on to the best game to watch this round, just because of the fights and the fierceness. Fremantle took on West Coast in another derby, demolition derby. Although Freo won by 35 points, it was a much more interesting game until that third quarter and last quarter, because Eagles looked like it. They were fierce, they were exciting. It was Brayshaw versus Harley Reid. It was Yo getting involved. There were so many fights. In fact, the AFL made a lot of money from this game, that's for sure. Ginby as well got involved. Look, even though Fremantle won, I was pretty impressed with West Coast, who you would think this is their last game where they would show loads of effort, if that makes any sense. Well done to Fremantle, who find themselves in the top 4 in 3rd place. Eagles still 1 game ahead of Richmond and North, but they are looking a little bit poor here and there in 16th place. Great win by Fremantle, who looked unlike it, but that just shows the maturity of this team and how they're well coached, is they can come back from a deficit at half-time, in a rivalry game in front of a home crowd. They had to win this, and if they did lose this, there'd be a lot of question marks about them, but they're pretty cemented in the top 3, equal with Brisbane on 50 points. Collingwood beat my team, Richmond. They beat us by around 26 points, was it? I'm not going to talk much about this game because you all know I do a separate video on every Richmond game. Collingwood were much better than That's pretty much it. Sydney took on the Western Bulldogs. This is probably the most surprising result I've seen in a while. I did say in my tips I will go with Sydney, but I would not be surprised if the Dogs pulled up an upset. And they did. From the minute the ball bounced, they were the better team. They probably should have won by a lot more. They just slowed down towards the end. And they absolutely dominated. Treloar dominated. Ed Richards is he's having an outstanding season. Tim English, I thought, was really good as well. Aaron Norton kicking 4 goals was impressive. They were much better when it mattered, and it was just the team effort of the Western Bulldogs that brought them the win, who are now in 8th place. They are, the Western Bulldogs, equal on points with Hawthorn in 9th, but both those teams fighting for the 8. And with the 3rd best percentage in the league, 119.8, the Dogs look pretty primed to make that top 8. Now, the question is, can they keep that form for the next 4 weeks through to the finals? I'm not so sure. But look, if you can hit form now, if you can keep it, they're a threat for that grand final. Finishing off with the game I predicted, Hawthorn got the job done pretty convincingly against Adelaide, although it did look a bit dodgy in the first half. That second half, Hawthorn put the foot down and showed them why they're a better coached team and a more exciting team. Last year, Hawthorn was Adelaide. Adelaide last year were exciting, well coached, vibrant. This season, the Hawks are that team. Exciting, well coached, vibrant, young. You want to watch them, and watching Hawthorn right now is amazing, especially considering I did predict them to finish in 10th place. They're in 9th place right now. They could go higher. They do have a tough run. And I think, for me, they're still less likely to make the 8 than more likely. But a phenomenal victory for them. Well fucking done. They don't have like a Bond or a Merritt who contributes. They're a team. They're constantly, week after week, they have a team performance where no one really stands out and does the job, which is good. And fair play to them. And as for the Adelaide Crows, they are well and truly in 4th last. And that's the round. Thanks for watching. Follow the TikTok, and I'll be seeing you in another video.